Hello everyone, welcome back to another brand new video of Sarascraftshop. So this time I'm going to do a mug art with the theme Under the Stars. So to start with, we will need a mug, of course. Here I'm using a ceramic mug, and then I'll be using some black clay for my background. So most of the clay that I'm using here for my project will be from Sculpey Premo, Cernit and Viva Pardo. So these are the three brands of clay that I'll be using for the for my theme today. So here to start with, I'm just going to place my black clay on the mug, and I'm just going to make a measurement or just an estimate on how much clay I would need for my art. So this is just a rough estimate. I'm just going to trim off the edges, and I'm just going to, once this is done, I'm going to place my black clay on an acrylic sheet. So this would be easier to work with rather than working directly on the mug. Once the whole process is finished, I can just place my art on the mug and then finally stick it with some glue. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit more of my black clay just to make it much more better. Next, I'm going to create some mountain designs. So for that, I'm just going to use my tissue blade here. I'm not going to cut this through, I'm just going to mark it out. So I will have two smaller mountain peaks and one main mountain peak. So that is what I had in my mind. This looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to take some metallic steel color. This one is from Cernit. Now I have just rolled this on my third thickest setting on my pasta machine. So when you do a mug art, mostly you don't have to be worried too much about the thickness of your clay. So here I'm taking the Cernit metallic, and I'm just going to, I'm making sure that this does not completely stick onto the black clay just now. I'm only just trying to make the outlines for my metallic steel color. Once this is done, I'll be placing it on the black clay, but I'll just make sure that it is a little bit offsetting and not exactly onto the black clay, just like so. Now that our mountain colors is fixed, next I'm going for my greenery. So here I'm using another Pardo green clay here. And this one is from Pardo again. This is called the Sapphire blue color. This one is for the lake that I want to give as part of my scenery. All the clay that I am using is of the same thickness. Everything is on the third thickest setting on my pasta machine. So now we have fixed the boundaries of each scenery that we need to have. Next we are going to add the details for each of our scenery. So to begin with, I'm going to start with the mountains. I'm going to take, this is the Turquoise Gold from Cernit that I'm going to use as part of my as part of my mountains. So the reason why I'm using the metallic clay is to make sure that to get a rugged feeling because of the micas in it. It gives a nice crackled effect for my mountains. The mountain should always look like rugged, so this helps me get that effect. And while I am trying to smoothen it out, I'll just make sure that a little bit of my clay also just gets into the green area, because we don't want to be perfect lines here. We just want to make it as natural as possible. So for the mountains, I'll be mixing the turquoise gold and the metallic steel, both from Cernit brand, and I'm just going to randomly place it to give a up and down feeling for the mountains. So once our mountain is ready, next we will go with the water. So the water is not going to be completely blue, it's going to be a mix of white and blue. So the white color is from Premo Sculpey again. This gives a nice 3D effect for the water, so I'm just going to smoothen them out and also create some rippling effect for the water so it looks more realistic. The tool that I'm using here is good for smoothing. It does not have a sharp edge, so it will not cut through, but instead it will give a very it will help to blend your clay with another clay, and also it will give a nice smoothing effect to your clay. So while I'm doing the smoothing, I'm also pushing the white clay into the blue clay so that it looks like it is part of it. It is just to ensure that it is part of the water. Now that our water is ready, next we go to the sceneries. So for the sceneries here, I'm just going to use my needle tool and I'm just going to give a grass effect for my greenery. So I'm just going to simply poke into my green clay. Now that is done, now I'm going to create some trees here. So here in this case, I'm going to use 3 different colors of green. This one is a very grayish green that I am having. It's a very light one. So I'm just going to randomly create some triangles, mini triangles of different sizes, and I'm just going to give some textures on it to look like a tree. So these lighter ones will go to the back of my scenery. Each time when I'm adding an element into my clay, I just make sure that I'm adding a little bit of liquid clay as well, so that it ensures that the whole thing sticks to each other. This particular clay was a little bit dry and I had to make sure that I had to use my liquid clay in order to stick to the main clay. Now that our green is finished, I'm going to take two other shades of green as well. This one is from Spanish Olive and this one is Jungle Green. Both are from Premo Sculpey. I'm going to repeat the same process here. I'm just going to create some triangles with both the colors and I'm going to just place them randomly in front of the gray-green color. Next, I'm going to create a small log of green color. This green color is also the same as part of our grass. This is just to give it a 3D effect on our that separates the land from the water. Using the same needle tool, I'm just going to give the same effect that I did before. I'm just going to poke into my clay to give that grassy kind of look. And while I'm doing it, I'm also making sure that it just gets into the water a little bit so that it doesn't look like a straight line. So once I'm happy with this, I'm going to make my tent. Now to make my tent, I'm just going to add some orange and yellow colors to it, a little bit of orange and more of yellow. Both are from Premo Sculpey. Now this is the color that I had in mind. Now I'll be making the shape of a tent. Here I am using the orange clay, the original orange clay from Premo Sculpey, and I'm just going to give it a 3D effect. In order to do that, I'm just going to measure it a little bit, offsetting from the main front of the tent that I just made. So it's not an exact cutting, it is just offsetting so that it has a 3D effect on it. And finally, I'm just going to add some clouds. In order to complete the look, I'm just going to add a few clouds here and there. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below, as it would really help motivate me to make more videos. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so that you don't miss any tutorials that I post. Thank you, and I will see you again in my another tutorial. Bye.